Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Monster Descent. Only I Choose Nexus. Qin Feng has arrived in a world where Ultraman blends with the real world, where everyone has the opportunity to shine, become an Ultraman warrior, and defeat monsters. But what? Nexus is the weakest light. Because Nexus is injured, he will also be injured, and even his life is in danger, so Nexus is the weakest light. Upon hearing this, Qin Feng couldn't help but feel a bit silent. Then, under the silly gaze of everyone, Qin Feng ignored the other Ultramen and decisively chose Nexus. So Nexus appeared in his childhood form, with the red youth and the blue youth appearing one after another. Watching this scene, everyone was shocked. Why do you have so many forms? And what shocked them the most was that, as everyone fell into a desperate darkness, a pair of winged Noah slowly appeared, and at this moment, the world was boiling. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Goerzan who was stolen, the beauty who delivered the package. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. Deep Sea City, Rose Community. At this moment, it is a sunny day. The azure sky is clear and bright. The warm sunshine shines directly through a window, shining on a bed. At this moment, there was a handsome man sleeping with his eyes squinted on this large bed. But now it seems that due to the sunshine, the man's brow couldn't help but furrow slightly. Then he slowly opened his eyes. I yawned fiercely. Ha, is this the 3 strokes of the sun? I closed the curtains early on, you know this is a tough weekend vacation, a rare time to sleep in. In just one moment, it woke me up. It's really unlucky. I saw Qin Feng rubbing his eyes, looking at the scenery outside and feeling the dazzling sunlight. I let out a light sigh. With a gloomy expression on his face, he said. The tone was full of regret. Although it is said that way. But who. As Qin Feng's last word fell, he flipped over directly. Continuing to sleep. Obviously, the person who wants to continue sleeping can only wake them up for a while. And cannot permanently wake up, even make the other person wake up. But holy crap, I didn't read it wrong. Is it Melba flying in the sky now? Are you sure it's not an airplane? Qin Feng, who had originally wanted to continue sleeping, suddenly discovered something. Instantly, he regained his energy and got up directly from the bed. He said with a skeptical expression on his face. At the same time, he went straight to the window and looked out. Finally, I couldn't help wiping my own eyes. Doubt whether you saw it wrong just now. Mistakenly mistaken the plane for Melba. After all, Qin Feng made this mistake before. At the age of 10, I mistook airplanes in the sky for flying monsters. Washed a lot of Qin Feng's emotions. Thinking of this, Qin Feng couldn't help but gather more energy and look at it. However, what made Qin Feng dumbfounded was, is this really Melba? Small Melba. No, can we say that this is an airplane manufactured in the shape of a Melba? Or some kind of technology, holographic projection. I saw that flying in the sky, not a plane. But it's Melba. It's still a small Melba, different in height from a normal Melba of 57 meters. The Melba in front of me is only 10 meters tall. It can be said to be a small Melba. Although Qin Feng didn't know what was going on, he could confirm that the creature in front of him was Melba. With wings on the back and a foot on the top of the head, although slightly smaller due to differences in height and body shape, the rest of the appearance is quite similar. So no mistake. This in front of me is Melba. Thinking of this, Qin Feng couldn't help but feel a bit dumbfounded. He said with a surprised expression on his face. Then it seemed like something was on my mind, and I suddenly came back to my senses. Whispering with a skeptical expression on his face. Thinking to myself. The more you think, the more likely you feel. However, before Qin Feng could think for long, the next scene directly shattered his imagination. Let Qin Feng fully recognize reality. Roar. I saw this small Melba fly to Qin Feng's window and nod slightly to Qin Feng. Give a soft shout. It seems like we're saying your letter again. Then he casually threw it away and an envelope suddenly appeared. Dropped directly onto the floor. Qin Feng was a bit dumbfounded. This is Melba is delivering the package. Express delivery to Melba. This absolutely outrageous. Although it feels a bit outrageous, the fact is that it is. And by the time Qin Feng regained his senses, the figure of the courier Melba had already disappeared. It seems to be sending the next order. Obviously, regardless of how surprised Qin Feng was, Melba left directly after delivering the letter. After all, it still has a lot of things to do. After delivery, I still need to go back and rest, drink milk to nourish my health. I'm not dreaming, am I? Now, has Melba fallen to delivering packages? Even if it's a small Melba. At this moment, Qin Feng picked up the envelope on the ground. Recalling what had happened before, he said with an incredulous expression. Even now, Qin Feng still feels dreamy. Doubt if you haven't woken up a bit. After all, no one would think that they just slept a little. As soon as I woke up, this happened. I saw the monster Melba that only exists in the tokusatsu, and I also gave it to you delivery. Forget it, let's go take a look at this letter first. A few seconds later, Qin Feng shook his head. Bring yourself to your senses. Whisper softly. Then he turned around and walked straight towards the inner room. However, at this moment, Qin Feng seemed to have discovered something again. The movement couldn't help but pause, instinctively stopping. At the same time, he looked over with a serious expression on his face. And this sight made Qin Feng even more dreamy. What did he find? He actually discovered there's a small monster over there. Upon closer inspection, it seems to be very similar to Goerzan. What are you doing now? Unexpectedly being stolen by someone, like a puppy being stolen by someone. This is walking monsters, walking Goerzan. Are you sure today is not April Fool's Day? Not playing me. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. The World of Monsters and the Awakening of Light. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The thing turns out to be like this. At this moment, Qin Feng looked at the computer in front of him. With a sudden expression on his face, he said. I finally understood all these strange things. Originally, 10 years ago, the entire blue star suddenly experienced a violent vibration. It has caused a huge shock to all countries in the blue star world. At the same time, it brought about strange changes. And monsters are one of them. Every once in a while, powerful and terrifying monsters will appear in the real world, causing harm to the human world. And these monsters are all exceptionally powerful, even though this world is now even more powerful than Qin Feng's world. Technology needs to be more advanced. But still helpless towards these monsters. Even big weapons are like this. It has no effect at all. Desperate. But humans are not powerless and can only wait for death. Humans in this world can have the opportunity to gain their own light through awakening rituals. Come and become stronger. To deal with monsters. Let your light continue to grow and unleash to the fullest. There are also various secret realms in this world, where there are various monsters. After obtaining the light, you can go inside to test and obtain various rewards and treasures. It is obvious that the small Melba and Goerzan were obtained from somewhere in a secret realm. Being domesticated by humans, that's why some of the shocking things just happened. Obviously, this mutation not only allowed humans to obtain light, further evolve, and become Ultraman. And because of the appearance of monsters, they are quietly changing people's lives. The most important thing seems to be this mutation. Nowadays, this blue star world is more than 100 times larger than the world where Qin Feng is located. However, due to the power of Ultraman and the passage of time, people have gradually adapted to this new change in their lives. And the letter in Qin Feng's hand is the notification letter for the 2050 Light Awakening ceremony. With this letter, you can go to the Stone of Light in the city center and awaken your own power of light. Gain the power of Ultraman and transform into Ultraman. If there is no awakening, then unfortunately you can either go for systematic theoretical teaching and become a theoretical lecturer, specially explaining and popularizing information on major monsters, respected by people. Either just be an ordinary person and live an ordinary life. And so it is, every country in this world will learn theoretical knowledge before reaching the age of awakening. The purpose is to prepare for those who cannot transform, so that they can have a better future. It's not all about laying a solid foundation for future Ultraman battles. As for the age of awakening, according to this world, it is 18 years old. Only those who have reached the age of 18 are qualified to awaken the power of light. Why can't one be 18 years old? No one knows this question. It can only be said that the rules are like this. Therefore, it can be said that this is the most important awakening ceremony in everyone's life. Awakening of light. The stronger the light obtained, the more likely it is to be admitted to prestigious schools over time. So the better the resources obtained. It can be said that where a person can go in this life, whether it is mediocrity or becoming a glorious Ultraman warrior, it all depends on this time. And time, it's the day after tomorrow. It's a bit of a mystical world of talent theory. So, should I go and ask for a visa on the day I go, to bless a wave? With his thoughts returning, Qin Feng looked at the letter in his hand and slowly spoke up. A face full of entanglement. But I didn't dwell on it for long, at least I was also a traveler. Luck should probably not be too bad. Perhaps, Xiaofeng, what are you still doing? Don't you come down for lunch yet? And just as Qin Feng was silently pondering, a voice came from downstairs. Directly attracted the attention of Qin Feng. Instantly regained consciousness. Coming. Subconsciously speaking. Then he hurried down and saw two people already sitting on the dining table downstairs. A middle-aged man with a determined face and a beautiful woman who looks only 30 years old. The two people in front of me are undoubtedly Qin Feng's parents. Qin Tian and Jiang Shui. And they also have another identity. They are the captain of the Ultraman Guard in Deep Sea City and the captain of the Ultraman Cross in Deep Sea City. It can be said that the status is extraordinary, holding a pivotal position in the entire Deep Sea City. Speaking of this, we have to mention the system of Qin Feng in this world. The system of Qin Feng in this world today is somewhat similar to that of the Kingdom of Light. This country can generally be divided into three types of positions, namely scientific research, medical care, and warrior. Each country also has its own special forces to defend its country. Monsters are enemies, why are other countries not? After all, whoever swallows another country will have more resources. The strength of a country is closely related to its soldiers. Therefore, compared to the Kingdom of Light, in the world of Qin Feng, the status of warriors is higher. Therefore, Qin Feng can be said to be one of the top 2 officials in Deep Sea City. Oh my goodness, don't be fooled, come and have dinner. At this moment, Qin Feng was secretly pondering. Jiang Shui watched this scene. With a gentle smile, he said with a gentle expression. Yeah, you should have received the letter, right? Don't worry too much, even if you haven't gained the power of light, don't worry too much. You still have us. With us around, your future won't be too bad. Qin Tian saw this and said kindly. My eyes are full of confidence. Qin Feng nodded upon hearing this. Speak up. The inner worries have been alleviated a lot. Then he walked forward and sat in his seat. Dine with the family of this lifetime. And time quietly passed, and soon it was the day after tomorrow. This day the widely anticipated awakening ceremony of the light has officially begun. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3 Awakening Ceremony. Terrifying elimination rate. You are listening at novelfull.audio. For some unknown reason recently, the secret realm has been somewhat unstable, so I won't accompany you this time. As the saying goes, with us here, please relax and don't feel any pressure. At this moment, on the day of the awakening ceremony. At the entrance of the Qin family. Qin Tian looked at Qin Feng in front of him and said seriously. He is the captain of the Ultraman Guard in Deep Sea City, and his responsibility is to protect Deep Sea City. Keep an eye on every secret realm in Deep Sea City, avoid monsters from appearing in the realm, and engage in harm. And various special events. Defend one side. Therefore, Qin Tian couldn't accompany his own son to attend the awakening ceremony and see what kind of light power Qin Feng could gain. I still feel a bit regretful. I couldn't help but look at Qin Feng with regret on my face. Not only Qin Tian, but also Jiang Shui beside him couldn't help but reach out and pat Qin Tian. A face full of regret. I can't leave the crusade either, so you can only go alone this time. Speak slowly to Qin Tian. A serious expression on his face. Don't worry, I won't let you down. Qin Feng heard and looked at his parents in this lifetime. Listen to the two of them. Nodding, he spoke up. I am still a little touched in my heart. It seems that this is undoubtedly biological. Later, seeing that the two of them didn't say much, Qin Feng turned around and left directly. Not long after, it disappeared before the eyes of Qin Tian and the others. At least this kid is showing some emotions. I didn't expect his face to be expressionless. Can we only say that he is truly our child? Watching this scene, Qin Tian slowly regained his senses. Shaking his head, he said with a smile on his face. Then they exchanged a glance with Jiang Shui, but didn't care. But with a direct wave of the right hand. Suddenly transformed into a beam of light, flying towards the distance. Is this where it is? There are even more people than I imagined. At this moment, Qin Feng was unaware of Qin Tian's emotions. At this point, he has arrived at the city center of Deep Sea City. Prepare to awaken and gain your own power of light. Before Qin Feng arrived, he had already guessed that there would be many people here. After all, people over 18 years old have come here at this time. Awakening to the light. Even if it's allocation. But even so, there are still many people. Watching this scene, Qin Feng couldn't help but shake his head. Sigh softly. A look of emotion on his face. Moreover, looking at this scene, it seems that the progress is quite orderly. I saw, Wang Er, without talent, cannot obtain the power of light. Zhang Si, without talent, cannot obtain the power of light. Li San, without talent, cannot obtain the power of light. Zhang Xia, without talent, cannot obtain the power of light. I saw the proctor standing on the stone of light, watching the scene before me. Looking at the scene displayed by the stone of light. Announce loudly directly. The sound spread throughout the room. Let everyone hear. Just this scene really surprised the expressions of the people present. Even Qin Feng couldn't help feeling a bit surprised. Obviously, I want to gain the power of the light and become Ultraman. It's not an easy task. At least this time, hundreds of people have already gone up. But basically no talent. Unable to obtain the power of light and transform into Ultraman. Judging from this situation, there may still be a large number of people who cannot obtain the power of light. Become an ordinary person. No wonder people who can transform into Ultraman are so respected. In addition to having a strong sense of responsibility and strength. There is also this scenario. After all, who is not talented enough to become an Ultraman? However, it's normal to think about it. In those Ottoman worlds of the past, every person who could become an Ottoman human body. They are all lucky ones. Who is not an outstanding figure? Those members of defense organizations, which one is not an elite human? It seems quite normal that so many people are unable to awaken their power. And just as Qin Feng secretly sighed. At this moment, everyone present was also watching this scene. Everyone was discussing incessantly. I have always heard that it is very difficult to obtain the power of light and become an Ultraman. At first, I didn't think it was easy, but now it seems even harder than I imagined. Yeah, I used to be so confident that I even set a flag for my parents, saying that I would definitely become an Ultraman, and even if it didn't work out, I could become a medical or scientific researcher. Now it seems like I'm just hanging on. Yes, I guess I'm also in suspense. I don't want to obtain any kind of power of light now, just be able to awaken, even the most useless power of light is fine. Until now, there hasn't been a single awakened person, and I feel that even our group may not be able to transform. No, look, there's a situation. And just as everyone was discussing it. At this moment, a sudden cry of surprise caught the attention of everyone present. Subconsciously looked over. And Qin Feng was also attracted by the startled sound, instinctively looking up. I saw the originally dull stone of light suddenly burst into colorful light. Spread out the whole scene. Directly attracted the attention of everyone present. This is Qin Ming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. The 5 Mainstream Powers of Light. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Scratch. I saw the originally dull stone of light emitting a strong light in an instant. Shining on the entire venue, it directly attracted the attention of everyone present. It's light. And the light is still very strong, it seems that someone has awakened. Awakening. Is it the power to obtain light? Watching this scene, everyone was discussing incessantly. A surprised expression on his face. And the fact is indeed so. I saw the procurer next to the stone of light, watching this scene. Silently nodded. Then he spoke directly. Li Long, an A.level talent, gains the power of light from Leo and can transform into Leo Ultraman. The announcer spoke loudly, his voice spreading throughout the room. The tone is full of joy. Obviously, even the declarer looked a little excited as he watched this scene. After all, this talent is very rare. Enter the ears of everyone present. Everyone's expressions couldn't help but be taken aback. Then there was a sudden uproar. Leo, it's actually Leo. So the opponent's fighting skills will definitely be very strong in the future. After all, it is said that among the members of our country's Ultraman Guard, Leo Ultraman has gained Leo's strength. He is the leading fighting master in Kyushu, a powerful Ultraman warrior. And he is still an A.level talent, so in the future he can at least become an A.level Ultraman, and the future is promising. Yeah, this person is sure to become one of the top experts in my Kyushu. No wonder the announcer's tone carries a hint of joy. My deep sea is about to rise this time. At this moment, listening to the declarer's words, everyone couldn't help but be surprised. He said with a skeptical expression on his face. His eyes were filled with various complex emotions such as envy, jealousy, and hatred. There is endless discussion. After all, Li Long not only gained the power of light, but also transformed into Ultraman. And it's not low. In this blue star world where talent determines the upper limit, a person's talent often represents their level. In this world, strength can be divided from high to low, from top to bottom S.level, A.level, B.level, C.level, and non-inflow. And talent is the same, corresponding to it. Therefore, this person has an A.level talent, so they can become an A.level Ultraman warrior without any accidents. You will definitely be able to enter one of the top universities in Kyushu, Auto University. A true step to the sky. As for the power of Leo, the awakened ultra power of this world can be mainly divided into 5 major powers. It is also the mainstream force in today's world. They are respectively King of Light, Ultraman. King of Fighting Leo Ultraman. Jack Ultraman, the King of Cheats. Medical Saint Mary Ultraman. Research Powerhouse Hikari Ultraman. Therefore, the power of light obtained today is basically the power of light of these 5 Ultramen. And some hidden, unique other powers of light. And these 5 are the most awakened and mainstream forces of light in Kyushu. It is also recognized as the most powerful force of light. People who can obtain, even if their talents are poor, will not have low future achievements. And, how come I hear this name so familiar? Li Long, I seem to have heard this name somewhere before. Ah, I remember now. Isn't it that our Deep Sea High School is a top-performing student in all subjects? I never expected it to be him. It is said that he has been pre-admitted to Beikai University in advance. Even if he did not obtain the power of light this time, he could still become a theoretical master in the future. Now that he has obtained the power of light again, the future is really unimaginable. He will definitely be a big shot in the future. Big shot. Forget it, this person used to rely on his good grades and look down on others, feeling extremely proud. Now, I'm afraid his but has already been raised to the sky. At this moment, some people present seem to have thought of something. Discussions couldn't help but arise. A face full of suspicion and uncertainty. The tone carries various emotions. Whispering softly. And these words naturally spread to Li Longer's ears. Ha! Li Long couldn't help but raise his eyebrows, but he didn't mind either. But with a cold snort. Then he glanced at the crowd present and directly determined a direction. Swaggered over. The students along the way watched this scene and took the initiative to step aside. It's not even possible to refuse, because the person who refuses and has been stirred up by Li Long's use of energy. Directly force concessions. The declarer couldn't help but raise his eyebrows as he watched this scene. But I didn't intervene, nor did I say much. After all, there have been no injuries, and this is also a matter for young people. He is also not easy to intervene. Just quietly watching this scene. And under the curious gaze of everyone, Li Long also came to Qin Feng's side. A cold smile. How's it going? Does my strength and talent make you tremble and feel out of reach? I advise you to apologize to me, otherwise even if you have your parents, I will. Li Long looked at Qin Feng and said coldly. His eyes were filled with contempt. He doesn't think that even a person with low grades can awaken their talents. Even stronger than him. You should know that even Qin Feng's father is only a B.level Ultraman warrior. I can't compare to him at all. Thinking of this, Li Long became even more arrogant. However, what made Li Long a little dumbfounded, feeling that this punch was hitting cotton candy, and feeling powerless was, ha. Upon hearing this, Qin Feng gave a cold smile. Ignoring Li Long at all. But looking at the open avenue behind it. Qin Feng didn't even think about it, so he bypassed Li Long. Walked towards the stone of light. Leaving only Li Long, whose face was gloomy, standing in the same place with a face full of uncertainty. Qin Ming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Shocking the entire audience. A unique talent. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Did he just ignore me? Stepping on me, using me directly, walking forward, saving time in line. At this moment, Li Long slowly regained his senses. Looking at the scene before me. The scene of Qin Feng ignoring himself and walking forward. His face couldn't help but darken, and he said with an uncertain expression. His face was very gloomy. Especially when hearing the discussions around you. It's terrifyingly gloomy. Ah, why do the two of them seem to have a conflict? It's not just about Bruce Lee's bad personality. At this moment, a bystander watched the scene. I couldn't help but pat the classmate beside me and said curiously. His eyes were full of confusion. I just thought that Li Long was just a personality issue, provoking casually. But now it seems that this is not the case. This was intentional by Li Long. But it seems that the effect is not very good. Qin Feng ignored the other person directly. Sure enough, to make a person feel angry, just ignore the other person directly. It is also an effective means to avoid disturbing tranquility. Don't you know? Both of them had previously pursued the school belle of Deep Sea High School. Although neither of them succeeded, Li Long always felt that it was Qin Feng's fault that hindered him, otherwise his excellence would not have led to failure. In addition to Qin Feng's status as a wealthy second-generation official, Li Long has always been very hostile towards him. I often want to find opportunities to provoke Qin Feng, but as soon as he awakens his power, he comes knocking on his door. It's just that the effect wasn't very good. And I even got a nose full of dust. At this point, the student being questioned. Looking at the person in front of me, there was a look of surprise on my face. It seems that the classmate in front of me is even more homesick than myself. I didn't even know about this matter. However, judging from the sincerity of the other party, let me just pretend to be a little pussy. Pooh, no, it should be a friendship based on the feelings of classmates. Let's tell the other party. Make up your mind. This person couldn't help but cautiously look at Li Long, seeing that the other person wasn't paying attention here. I couldn't help but whisper. A serious expression on his face. So it's like this. This person's expression couldn't help but be taken aback. A sudden expression on his face. The people around me couldn't help but instinctively nod when they heard it. With a clear understanding in his eyes. So there's such a thing going on here. I couldn't help but look at the student with admiration on my face. This person knows quite a lot. Make this student feel even more excited and satisfied with his vanity. I can't help but speak with more enthusiasm. However, at the end, the student's tone was straightforward. His expression froze. It's not because of anything else, but a sudden wave of coldness. Sweeping through his entire body. The student instantly regained consciousness and instinctively looked over. I saw Li Long staring coldly at him. Obviously, those words were still heard by Li Long, even though he didn't say them very loudly. What does it feel like to expose someone's secrets behind their back and ultimately be discovered by the protagonist? The student in front of you can tell you. It's over. Damn it. How could I forget that after receiving Ultraman's power, the opponent's physical fitness also improved? Ordinary people may not be able to hear speech clearly, and the other person may not be able to hear it either. It's careless. This time, the pill, it took someone's life. The student said with a regretful expression on his face. My eyes are filled with regret. My heart is as dead as ashes. Play big. Humph. Qin Feng, after you wake up, I hope you can still be so arrogant. At this moment, Li Long watched the scene. Slowly retracting his gaze, he watched Qin Feng walking towards the stone of light. With a cold snort, he said with a cold expression on his face. As for the person who dares to expose their own scars. Li Long had already executed the other party in his heart. He cannot kill, but the unexpected appearance of the monster that caused death has nothing to do with him. Is it the school flower? It seems that this happened before I traveled through time. But it has nothing to do with me. At this moment, Qin Feng didn't care what Li Long was thinking. At this moment, he also heard the low voices of those people communicating. It seems that due to time travel, Qin Feng's physical fitness is much better than that of people in this world. So Qin Feng can also hear it. At this moment, he listened to what the person was saying and instinctively browsed through his memory. It is indeed the case. And this person is also very beautiful, no wonder he can be hailed as the school flower of Deep Sea High School. It's really extraordinary. But is this related to his Qin Feng? Previously, now is now. He revived Qin Feng's life with only one goal, which is become the strongest Ultraman. How could one be mediocre and care about these childish relationships? Thinking of this, Qin Feng smiled confidently. Then he looked at the stone of light in front of him and instantly regained his senses. I looked around casually. A stone that looks very ordinary. If Qin Feng hadn't noticed the powerful energy hidden inside it, he would think this was an ordinary stone. Let's get started. A few seconds later, Qin Feng withdrew his gaze. Nodding to the announcer beside him, he slowly spoke. Subsequently, at the signal of the declarer, Qin Feng extended his hands directly. Placed on the stone of light. At this moment, the originally noisy venue gradually quieted down. Looking up at Qin Feng with a curious expression on his face. They were very curious and dared to challenge Li Long, the son of the captain of the Ultraman Guard in Deep Sea City. What kind of talent can one awaken? Not only them, but also Li Long. Ha! Let me see what flowers you can play with. I saw Li Long covering his chest with both hands, watching this scene. He said disdainfully. Anyway, it's impossible to be stronger than him. You should know that he is A. level. The kind that can rank high throughout Kyushu. Anyway, Li Long doesn't think Qin Feng can reach S. level. You know, until the monster recovers, there aren't many S. level talents in the entire Kyushu. And none of them have ever appeared in Deep Sea City. Just Qin Feng, this playboy, how could it be? Thinking of this, Li Long sneered repeatedly. I have already begun to vividly remember how Li Long belittled Qin Feng and mocked him in his own goddess school flower. However, at this moment. Look, what's that? A sudden cry of surprise came. Directly caught Li Long's attention and instinctively looked over. And this sight immediately startled Li Long in the same place. A face full of shock. The pupils contract sharply. This is impossible. Not only him, but also the declarant who has always remained calm at this time, even when seeing A. level talents, he can still remain calm. At this moment, seeing this scene, I couldn't calm down anymore. I slammed my thigh hard. Looking at the scene in front of him, he said with a shocked expression. This is the most top-notch and unique talent in legend. The highest talent. Surprisingly, it really exists. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. The whole scene is in an uproar. Choose Nexus. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Supreme talent, the highest and top talent in the world. Even surpassing the S. level at one point, a talent that used to only appear in legends, or rather only heard of in legends. And no one knows where the person with this talent can go. Because no one has ever had it before. But according to current records, they are aware of one thing. That is to have talented individuals who can freely choose any power of light. That's right, you can choose any power of light and become an Ultraman. This is the supreme glory. In the past, it was only light that chose them, and what they gained was what they got. And Qin Feng can actively choose light. you can become whatever you want. It can be said that anyone with a normal brain can become powerful. Destined to become a world-class powerhouse. After all, no one will choose the weakest light, they will definitely choose the strongest light. So Qin Feng is destined to walk in front of all of them and become a strong one. Impossible, this is impossible. This is the highest talent, how could it really exist? He's just a playboy, how could he have such a powerful talent? At this moment, Li Long slowly regained his senses. Thoughts return. Recalling the textbook, which only mentioned one point of supreme talent. My face couldn't help but change and I kept shaking my head. With an incredulous expression on his face, he said. Eyes filled with jealousy. Envy burns. With both fists tightly clenched, I can't believe it's true. But no matter how much Li Long doesn't believe it, facts are facts and cannot be changed. Not to mention that this was spoken by the declarer himself. And even if the declarer did not say so, the current anomaly is destined to be extraordinary. It directly attracted the attention of everyone present, and even the people around who were working couldn't help but stop their movements. Subconsciously looked over. A surprised expression on his face. I saw a bang. Accompanied by a light noise. At this moment, the stone of light instantly emitted a colorful light, more dazzling than ever before. Many people who get too close instinctively squint their eyes. And just as Li Long kept shaking his head and his face was full of disbelief. At this moment, a beam of light also appeared instantly from the stone of light. Head straight to the sky. Illuminating the entire scene while emitting dozens of rays of light in the sky. These are all the powers of light that other talents have chosen before. It can be said that all the lights that appeared earlier have appeared this time. There are even other rays of light that have never been seen before here. All obediently stood in front of Qin Feng. Like flowers, let the Qin wind pick them. Seeing this scene, everyone's faces were filled with shock. A shocked expression on his face. And as Li Long watched this scene, he was almost so jealous that he cried. How could this be? Light, it's all light. Even if it's so far away, I can feel that warm power. Yeah, and these lights are so powerful. Jack, Ace, Leo, Hikari, Mary, all 5 of the mainstream lights in our Kyushu have appeared. There are other lights I haven't seen before, my goodness. Is this the one with unparalleled talent? He's really the son of heaven, he's so jealous. He can choose any one. At this moment, everyone slowly regained their senses. Looking at the scene in front of him, he exclaimed in amazement. The tone is filled with various emotions. But Qin Feng didn't care about this. At this moment, he looked at the scene before him and pondered to himself. It seems that because Jack's 5 Ultramen chose more people, these 5 rays of light are the brightest. But Qin Feng is not in a hurry, after all, he knows Ultraman well. Although Jack and his team are indeed powerful ultras, in terms of light, they are not the strongest. There are still many who are stronger than them. As for how this world feels, it's just a limitation. Now that he has this opportunity, he really needs to carefully select and check. Thinking of this, Qin Feng closed his eyes and sank his mind. Look towards these lights. I want to see how other lights work. Is he selecting light? If it were me, I would have chosen one of the 5 Ultramen long ago. Why bother choosing? Cut, you don't know now. The 5 major Ultramen are just mainstream, which doesn't mean that the other Ultramen are not strong. It is said that our generation's newly emerged strength has gained another powerful light, defeating many other peers, and we are the younger generation's dumpling makers. It seems to be called Diga Ultraman. Not inferior to Jack, Isotman. So, what Ultraman would Qin Feng choose? I think Jack, what about you? I don't think it could be Ace. I think it could be Dijia. I can't say for sure, he would choose Hikari. Maybe Qin Feng likes scientific research. And just as Qin Feng secretly checked and selected. The onlookers were not idle either, watching this scene. Everyone lowered their heads in disgust. His eyes were filled with curiosity. Although Qin Feng was exploring, he also listened to the voices of people around him. I couldn't help but smile slightly. These people seemed to have no one guessing that he would choose Nexus. Qin Feng seemed to know that after Nexus was injured, he himself would also be injured, and in severe cases, even cause death. There were several inheritors ahead who died for it. It is completely incomparable to other Ultramen. Therefore, Nexus was directly labeled as the weakest light by the people of this world. So no one would think that Qin Feng would choose this. But unfortunately, you don't know, but Qin Feng, who is familiar with Ultraman, knows. Jack, Ace, Leo may be powerful. Jia is also good. Other Ultramen are also very strong. But in terms of potential, it still has to be Nexus. After all, this is Noah's predecessor. And Noah is undoubtedly the #1 Auto. The strongest Ultraman. So, I choose Nexus. Think of this and make up your mind. Qin Feng felt the light of Nexus. Speak directly. And accepted the power of Nexus. And as Qin Feng's words sounded, everyone who had originally been discussing them immediately instantly quieted down. A face full of surprise fell into an eerie silence. Even the excited declarer's face stiffened at this moment. What did he say? What did he choose? It seems that Nexus, the weakest and worst Ultraman, who risked his life. This is really fake. At this moment, listening to Qin Feng's words, the whole room was in an uproar. With an incredulous expression on his face, Qin Ming outing in happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. 10-meter Ultraman. Nexus is special. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The reason why Nexus Ultraman was judged by this world as the weakest and worst Ultraman. The weakest light. It's not because no one has a choice, but on the contrary, there are still choices or people who have gained this light. And there are still several. But without exception, most of them died. It is said that the person who first came into contact with this light only had a 10-meter posture when transforming. There is another name, named Nexter. It is the predecessor of Nexus. Directly blinded the eyes of everyone on the spot. They never thought they had seen such a type of Ultraman before. But these are not the main points. The point is that the person who obtained this light at that time did not know about it. After obtaining the light, he hurriedly went to the secret realm, hoping to defeat the monster and become stronger. However, what that person didn't expect was that the Ultraman he transformed into would be so small in size. Unexpectedly I was trampled to death by a powerful monster at that time, rushing and cutting, arrogant and conceited. In addition, with the special nature of the Nexus light, the result was just a bento. Subsequently, several non-believers gained the power of Nexus. In the end, without exception, either he was seriously injured by the monster or died. Either the injury is too severe and ends up cooling down directly. Therefore, later on, even if someone regained the inheritance rights of the light of Nexus, choose to give up decisively. Although light is precious, life is even more precious. After all, although they cannot be like Qin Feng, they can choose their own radiance. But refusal is still possible. How to say, light is still very equal, without compulsion. Whether or not this light is up to you to decide. Therefore, once and for all, those without iron heads will no longer choose this terrible light. Directly thrown into the cold palace by people from the Blue Star world. Labeled as the weakest and worst. Even written into textbooks, teaching generation after generation. Over the years, there have been no successors of Nexus. But now what did they see? I saw it, and surprisingly someone has chosen this terrible light again. And he is also a person with extraordinary talents. A person with unparalleled talent who can freely choose the radiance. This almost knocked everyone present down. A face full of suspicion and uncertainty. I just feel, oh my God, I'm really not dreaming. What did I see? A unique and most talented person in history, who took the initiative to choose a weak light. Don't he want to live anymore? Did I get dizzy? I heard it wrong, this is outrageous. No, you're not mistaken. That's how things are. Qin Feng chose the light of Nexus and is now inheriting this power. It's probably coming to an end. That's right, although it's dreamy, the fact is, our young master of the Qin family, the most talented person, seems to have made a wrong decision. Unfortunately. I saw that everyone present slowly regained their senses. Looking at the scene before me, I couldn't help but sigh lightly and shake my head. With a regretful expression on his face, he said. His eyes were filled with surprise and regret. But there are also many people who gloat and even feel excited. For example, Li Long. At this moment, his mood was no different from riding a roller coaster, with ups and downs. Suddenly arrogant, suddenly in extreme pain, now seeing this scene. That was even more so, with an excited expression on his face. That's a joy. And these constantly changing emotions made Li Long's face look somewhat distorted. Appearing extremely disgusting. But Li Long didn't care about this. At this moment, he saw that Qin Feng had chosen this weak light. I only feel happy in my mood. Ha, a playboy, he's just a playboy, he doesn't even have this common sense. I really deserve it. What if you have high talent? Take the initiative to choose this weak light, and it will be destined to fall behind me in the future. I will have to talk to Chen Jiwei well later. At this moment, Li Long said excitedly. His eyes were filled with disdain. What if you have high talent? If you don't study hard, that's the end result. I'm afraid I'll be able to attend textbooks in the future. Classic counterexample. Not only should we give him a good laugh later, but we also need to blow a breeze with the school flower in our hearts. Let her impression of Qin Feng be at a low point. The lower, the better. The more I think about Li Long, the more excited he becomes. At this time, Qin Feng did not care about these things and did not know Li Long's thoughts. Even if I know, it's just a smile, just a passing one. After all, the sparrow knows the ambition of the swan. Why bother such people? At this moment, he is wholeheartedly inheriting the light of Nexus. At the same time, watch the life experiences of the previous competent individuals. It has to be said that Nexus is truly Noah's radiance. The bond of light. According to Qin Feng's understanding of this world, others inherit the same radiance. It is impossible to see the experiences of others. But Nexus can, and even inherit the power of growth from previous generations. However, this is also normal. The characteristics of Nexus are like this, constantly growing and evolving. But Dijia and Zero are different. There can be many human bodies, and there is not much connection between them. You become yours, I become mine. Although Ultraman's power is the same, his power varies depending on the person he transforms into. And unlike other lights, Nexus only has one ray of light. That is to say, after Qin Feng inherits, as long as Qin Feng does not die, then others cannot obtain this radiance. It can be said to be truly unique. Therefore, Qin Feng was carefully feeling all of this. And just then, a voice came. Qin Feng couldn't help but feel a little energized. Child, if possible, give up this radiance. Go and choose other lights, such as Ace and Jack, that's great. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Shocked the whole audience. Those people can't do it. It's him. You are listening at novel full.audio. At this moment, not only did everyone feel puzzled, but even the announcer on the side was full of confusion. Feeling confused about Qin Feng's choice. He never expected that this could be considered the most talented person he had ever seen. How could you choose such a hopeless and dangerous Ultraman? If this continues, isn't it a waste of this talent? If that's really the case, wouldn't it be their huge losses in Kyushu? How could he watch all of this happen? Thinking of this, the declarer couldn't help but speak up and remind. Although once light is chosen, it is impossible to switch midway. But this is a legendary talent, what if? Upon hearing this, the declarer looked at Qin Feng with a hopeful expression on his face. I hope Qin Feng can hear what he said and follow his advice. But what made the declarer somewhat dumbfounded was that Qin Feng seemed to have not heard it. Still standing in place. Watching this scene, the declarer couldn't help but blink. Did he not hear that? I couldn't help but whisper softly. Qin Feng certainly heard it, but ignored him. But immersed wholeheartedly in the light of Nexus. Inheriting the power of Nexus. Suddenly, the light of Nexus continuously surged into Qin Feng's body. And it was also when Qin Feng chose Nexus and inherited Nexus's power. At this moment, a voice suddenly came, making Qin Feng instantly energized, with a hint of joy in his eyes. Ding! Congratulations to the host for choosing Nexus and successfully gaining the power of Nexus. Now the 10,000 times critical strike system is activated. When the host cultivates and obtains certain treasures and other items, there is a chance to trigger a critical strike probability. Get stronger, higher quality items, and a higher level of cultivation. Help the host become the god of Ultraman, Noah Ultraman, and become the strongest Ultraman warrior as soon as possible. Is it a 10,000-fold critical strike system? It seems like this is my golden finger. It looks pretty good. Listening to the sound coming from the system, Qin Feng couldn't help but whisper softly. Then he withdrew his mind and continued to inherit the power of Nexus. At the same time, my inner strength became stronger, and my belief in choosing Nexus became even stronger. But what happened in Qin Feng is unknown to everyone, and the declarer is naturally also unclear. At this moment, your talent is top-notch in Kyushu, and even in the whole world. So I really hope you can choose other powers of light. Although Nexus light looks good, it's really not useful. Without you, this is a loss for our Kyushu. Qin Feng ignored him, and the announcer instantly regained consciousness before speaking up. The voice couldn't help but slightly increase. At the same time, it also utilizes the energy of light. And this time the declarer finally received a response from Qin Feng. No need, I have already obtained the light of Nexus. Inherited the power of Nexus. I can't wait for the declarer to finish speaking. Qin Feng slowly opened his eyes, turned his head slightly, and looked at the proctor in front of him. He said calmly. The declarer's expression couldn't help but be taken aback. A surprised expression on his face. It's over. You have already inherited it. How could it be so fast? The declarer looked at Qin Feng with a surprised expression and said. His eyes were filled with horror. A face full of disbelief. How could it be so fast? Don't look past it for a long time. Actually, just a few tens of seconds have passed. And for those who awaken the light, inheriting the power of the light starts in minutes. Is this a bit too fast? But the gradually fading light in the sky, as well as some light slowly entering Qin Feng's body in the air. Everyone told him that what Qin Feng said was true. He has already inherited it. Watching this scene, the announcer looked surprised. For a moment, I didn't know what to say. But he nodded slightly and remained silent. Not just the declarer's face full of surprise. Others listened to Qin Feng's words, and so did they. A face full of astonishment. Others start in minutes, while Qin Feng starts in seconds. It's estimated that the textbook should be revised from now on. It can only be said that it truly deserves to be the highest talent, the top talent. It's really beyond reach. Ha! Even so, the Nexus light he chose destined the other party not to go far. That's also better than you and me. Although the light is weak, I can't resist them being Ultraman warriors and possessing the highest level of talent. Their future is definitely much better than ours, surpassing many ordinary people. Anyway, it's also an existence beyond our reach. At this moment, everyone present slowly regained their senses. Watching this scene, he exclaimed in amazement. Discussions are raging. The tone is filled with various emotions, including admiration, disdain, envy, and other complex emotions. However, Qin Feng didn't care and directly ignored the expressions and gaze of these people. Go straight ahead and prepare to go home. Familiarize yourself with this power. Then, on a trip to a nearby secret realm, I made myself more in line with the radiance of Nexus. Qin Feng, I really didn't expect you to be in Nexus now. To be honest, do you know my emotions at the time? I was filled with jealousy and despair at the time, because I knew you would definitely be admitted to a better auto university, just ahead of me. But now I just want to laugh, you. At this moment, Li Long walked up directly. Stopping in front of Qin Feng, he slowly spoke up. My eyes are full of smiles. However, before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted by Qin Feng. His expression couldn't help but tremble. Do you think Nexus is weak? Qin Feng looked at Li Long in front of him and said expressionlessly. Li Long's expression couldn't help but be taken aback. A surprised expression on his face. I can only say that you don't understand light at all. Those inheritors in the front, or are you all like this? Light is a bond, not a weapon, and a capital to show off. Light makes humans stronger, and human will also makes light stronger, because people and hearts are connected. And this is the essential power of Nexus. Those people can't do it just because they lack the connection between light and heart. You don't understand light. Before Li Long could say anything, Qin Feng immediately spoke up. The sound echoed throughout the room. The crowd instantly regained their senses and their expressions couldn't help but tremble. Even the stunned declarer couldn't help but come to his senses with some silence. Subconsciously looking up. A surprised expression on his face. Light. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Get ready. Go to the secret realm. You are listening at novel.full.audio. After speaking, Qin Feng didn't continue to say anything. But he casually glanced at Li Long. Not in words, let out a cold sigh. Just spare Li Long and walk forward. He didn't pay much attention to the expressions of everyone present at the moment. Go straight ahead. Only the students with shocked faces and the annotators remained. At this moment, their minds were constantly recalling what Qin Feng had said. Light. Qin Feng, please stop me. Don't scare me. At this moment, Li Long looked at Qin Feng who was about to leave. Instantly regained consciousness. I couldn't help but speak up. At the same time, he reached out his hand and grabbed Qin Feng. At the same time, he directly utilized the light he had just obtained, which was still very weak. I want to directly stop Qin Feng. Although it is just a newly acquired radiance, it cannot even be considered strong. But this is the light of the King of Fighters, Leo Ultraman, from the power of Leo. He doesn't think Qin Feng can block this force. Thinking of this, Li Long's face was full of confidence. However, it hasn't been long before Li Long can last, the next scene. directly making Li Long's smile freeze, his face full of suspicion and uncertainty. The pupils contract sharply. How could this be? Ha! Seeing Li Long's movements, Qin Feng didn't even glance at him. But with a cold sigh. Then a beam of light flashed past Qin Feng. A strong and imposing aura suddenly appeared, directly shaking away Li Long. Under Li Long's astonished gaze, he immediately recoiled and took a few steps back. Almost fell directly to the ground. After finishing these, Qin Feng did not continue to stay here. But he continued to move forward. He had to go home and rest for a while. However, go to the secret realm and try it out. So that I can better align with the radiance of Nexus. There's no time to waste here. Li Long, whose face was full of astonishment, stood still, somewhat skeptical of life. Did I just be shaken back by Qin Feng? How could this be possible? That's just Nexus power, how could it shake me back? I'm Leo's power. Illusion, definitely illusion. Recalling what had just happened, Li Long kept murmuring. The tone was full of disbelief. How could this power be so powerful? This doesn't conform to textbooks and common sense. It must be his illusion. Li Long was careless. That's right, that's it. Qin Feng, you. Thinking of this, Li Long instantly regained his senses. Then he lifted his head directly and looked forward. Just wanted to say something. However, at this moment, there was no trace of Qin Feng and he had already left. Watching this scene, looking at the place where Qin Feng originally stood, it turned into an empty appearance. Li Long couldn't help but feel a bit dumbfounded. Hey! What about others? Why is it missing? Is it light? At this moment, Li Long was somewhat skeptical about life. At this moment, the declarer also came to his senses. Watching Qin Feng leave, recalling what Qin Feng had said. I couldn't help but whisper softly. A deep meaning on one's face. He also saw the scene just now, which shook back Li Long. And the feeling is even more profound than Li Long's. Perhaps this young man can embark on a new path. Perhaps one day, the understanding of the world today will change because of him, and the power of Nexus may not be different in his hands. Watching this scene, the declarer gazed at the back of Qin Feng. Watching Qin Feng gradually disappear from the crowd, he slowly spoke up. A look of emotion on his face. The ceremony continues, the next Zhao Lin. A few seconds later, the declarer shook his head to bring himself to his senses. Restore the original expressionless state. Looking at everyone present, he immediately spoke up. The tone was full of authority. Suddenly, the scene that had fallen into silence due to the Qin wind became noisy again. All right, that's it. At this moment, Qin Feng was unaware of the declarer's emotions. At this moment, he had already returned home. I took a careful rest. 10 minutes later, Qin Feng was wearing a ring in his hand. Looking at the ring in his hand, Qin Feng smiled slightly. Nodding, he slowly spoke up. This ring is a birthday gift from Qin Feng's father Qin Tian. It is said that they accidentally bought it at the auction. A space ring similar to the fantasy world. There is idle space inside. But the space of Qin Feng's ring is relatively small, with a range of only 10 miles. But just as we set sail, we can barely make do with it. As for why you wear this ring, it's normal. After all, it is said that there are many good things in the secret realm, so I don't wear this space ring. Do we still need to use our hands? It seems that, they have already prepared for me. Don't they worry that I won't be able to awaken the power of light? Later, Qin Feng seemed to have thought of something. Recalling the figures of Qin Tian and Jiang Shui, I couldn't help but shake my head. Speak slowly. A smile on his face. But looking at this scene, they didn't come back so soon either. Yes, after all, being an Ultraman or an Ultraman medical officer is not the profession of a busy person. In Qin Feng's memory, it is rare for them to come back very early. However, it's also a coincidence that if you go to the secret realm yourself, you can directly reduce their verbosity. As for the destination, there seems to be a secret realm of Goerzan nearby, but you can go and explore it. Match the radiance. Make up your mind, Qin Feng will leave the house directly. Find a direction and move forward. Depart, head to the secret realm. Qinming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Secret Realm. Nexter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The secret realm is the foundation of every place, every city's resources and strength. Because there are not only many precious materials in the secret realm, but also many monsters. And these monsters not only change people's lives, but also continuously enhance the strength of every inheritor of the light. Combat experience. Just like Qin Feng's visit to the Goerzan secret realm, it is one of the only 2 secret realms in the Deep Sea City. Another place is the secret realm of Melba. Therefore, the Deep Sea City has many offspring of Goerzan and Melba, which is also due to this reason. Captured monster eggs by those inheritors of light and then domesticated. Convenient for human life and a weapon for human self-defense. Becoming a part of human life. It is also an important manifestation of the secret realm changing human life. Therefore, it is closely related to the strength of the city. And the secret realm is a product of the blue star mutation 10 years ago, and no one knows why these secret realms exist to this day. And every once in a while, there will be riots in the secret realm. Some powerful monsters will break away from the secret realm and descend into reality, causing tremendous damage. It can be said that danger and opportunity coexist. But this does not hinder people's love for the secret realm. And going hunting is also to avoid the appearance of powerful monsters. Come to reality. Therefore, due to various factors, many people have entered the secret realm. And the secret realm also has different sizes. Take Goerzan's secret realm as an example. The strongest Goerzan in the small secret realm is only 30 meters tall. It is a must-go place for new players to practice. The strongest Goerzan in the medium-sized secret realm has a body size of only 50 meters. A large secret realm of 50 meters is just the bottom, with a normal body size of 60.2 meters being the majority, and its strength is extremely strong. Without B.level strength, entering is like delivering food. Qin Feng, on the other hand, was not so arrogant and decisively went to a small secret realm to practice his skills. When your strength becomes stronger in the future, go to the large secret realm Jojo. Even the smallest secret realm with the lowest strength still has many people. There's no way, who makes the people in Kyushu have the most blue stars in the world. Even this world is like this. There are many people queuing up at the entrance of the small secret realm of Goerzan. Watching this scene, Qin Feng couldn't help but become somewhat silent. Then take out a small stick and gently press it. Suddenly, a spatial fluctuation flashed by in an instant. Later, Qin Feng's figure disappeared instantly. This is the inherent ability of evolutionary trustors, which can perform certain spatial transfers and jumps. And Qin Feng used this ability to directly enter the Goerzan secret realm. Eliminated the hassle of queuing. Only stay, the crowd gathered together to discuss. What's going on? Why aren't we allowed in? This is a public resource, not a private one. We have the right to enter. Yeah, the 20-meter small and medium-sized Goerzan beat me up last time. This time I'm going to find the venue, so let me in. Yes, that's right, and I also have a batch of goods that urgently need 10 Goerzan monster eggs. If you don't let me in, how should I pay the bill? Yes, I just awakened to the power of light and have a C.level talent. I want to exercise myself on the periphery and become stronger. Don't waste my time. And me, and I. At this moment, many young and middle-aged people were watching the auto guards guarding the door. My eyebrows couldn't help but furrow. With a dissatisfied expression on his face, he said. His eyes were filled with anger. This is good, why aren't people allowed in? It affects my ability to earn money, access resources, and even make me stronger. How unreasonable. And watching these dissatisfied masses and listening to their words. The Ultraguard guarding in front of the secret realm showed no signs of fluctuation in his expression. Still standing in place. Just a cold reply. At present, there has been a mutation in the small secret realm of Goerzan, with unknown energy appearing. For the safety of the general public, we are temporarily unable to enter. If necessary, you can go to the neighboring Melba small secret realm or the medium-sized Goerzan secret realm. Someone will take over later. If you have anything to say, just tell the person in charge. Is this the small secret realm of Goerzan? Indeed, it's really small enough. At this moment, Qin Feng was completely unaware of what was happening outside. Now he looked at the scene and saw the 10-meter Goerzan walking around inside. Even the careful Qin Feng discovered a 5-meter Goerzan. It looks a bit comical. Watching this scene, Qin Feng couldn't help but blink his eyes. Speak slowly. No wonder it is called a beginner's leveling ground. It's embarrassing that you can't win even with this kind of Goerzan. After all, these Goerzans are probably not in the mainstream range. And it's also the lowest level. However, we cannot underestimate them because once they grow up, it can be a terrifying force. If you break free from the constraints of this realm's secret realm, then you will be in dire straits. Surprisingly, let me end all of this. Nexter. Watching this scene, Qin Feng shook his head. Speak slowly. Then lift the evolutionary trustor directly and lightly press it. Accompanied by the gentle cheers of the Qin wind. Suddenly, a dazzling light burst forth, enveloping Qin Feng's figure. Qin Ming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.